My parents secretly copied the keys to my riverside retreat. They refused to let me in. No room for you, sleep in your car, my sister said. Hi, I'm Sarah. Today I'm going to share the story of Olivia, titled, My Parents Secretly Copied the Keys to My Riverside Retreat to Throw Family Parties. When I went there for the weekend, they refused to let me in. No room for you, sleep in your car, my sister said. So I did, and I enjoyed their consequences. Ready? Let's dive in. My name is Olivia, and I need to tell you about the chaos that is my family. I'm 31 and work as a software engineer at a major tech firm in the heart of the city. The salary is solid better than I ever dreamed when I was in college, drowning in student loans and surviving on instant noodles. 3 years ago, I saved enough to buy a cozy apartment. It's nothing extravagant, just a nice two-bedroom where I can host friends without feeling self-conscious. Last year, I stumbled across a perfect riverside retreat about an hour outside the city. It's serene, quiet, and ideal for clearing my head when tackling tricky coding challenges. I even installed high-speed internet to stay connected for work. Now, my family, my mom, a retired office assistant, and my dad, a janitor at a local high school, still live in the house I grew up in. My younger brother Noah is 28 and drifts between jobs currently at a distribution center, always grumbling about the schedule or management. My sister Ava is 25, working part-time at a boutique while supposedly studying for a certification she never seems to complete. Family dinners get tense because I earn about 4 times what any of them make. It started innocently enough. Noah needed rent money one month, so I covered it. Ava pragmatic play Ava's car broke down, so I paid for repairs. Mom and Dad struggled with their gas bill during a cold winter, so I handled it. But it became routine. I now cover Noah's $800 studio apartment rent and Ava's $1,100 one-bedroom. I send Mom $400 monthly for utilities and groceries. Sometimes I slip them extra cash when I visit $200 here, $300 there because I can, and they seem to need it. I don't mind helping family, but the snide remarks started piling up. Like when I showed up to Sunday dinner with a new tote bag, a basic one from a department store, maybe $50. Must be nice to buy whatever you want while some of us stress about bills, Ava said, eyeing my bag like it was designer. I hadn't bought anything new in months. That bag was my first in 2 years, and it wasn't even pricey. Suddenly, I'm the villain for spending my own money. Noah's no better. Hey, Olivia, nice new sneakers. Meanwhile, I'm eating canned soup again because my hours got cut. Never mind that I just paid his rent, and he'd blown money on a music festival with friends. Dad stays quiet, but nods like they're right. Mom tries to smooth things over, but it's backhanded. Oh, you know your siblings. They just wish they had your opportunities. The worst is how they act like my success is pure luck, like I didn't grind through 4 years of computer science while working nights at a cafe, or put in 60-hour weeks to climb the ladder at my company, or teach myself 3 programming languages to get promoted. Some people just get all the breaks, Noah said once at a family cookout, right to my face. I wanted to ask what breaks he meant, but I held back. I always hold back to avoid making things worse. So, I started visiting less every other Sunday instead of weekly, leaving early with some excuse. The Riverside retreat changed everything, though. After months of searching, I found this gem: 2 bedrooms, a spacious deck overlooking the river, and enough room to spread out for big projects. The price was reasonable, and I bought it outright without dipping into my savings. I was thrilled to share the news at the next family dinner, hoping they'd be proud. Instead, the table went silent. You bought what? Mom asked, setting down her fork. A retreat by the river, about an hour east of here. It's peaceful. Great for remote work. Noah let out a bitter laugh. Jesus, Olivia, another house? How much money do you need? It's not about needing money, I said. I worked hard, saved up, and wanted a place to unwind. Unwind, Ava echoed. Must be nice. Some of us can't relax in our own apartments because we're worried about rent. I help with your rent, I said, keeping my tone even. Right, but imagine what that money could have done, Mom said, gesturing vaguely. We could have replaced the windows here or fixed the garage or upgraded the heating system. You should have talked to us first, she added. I stared at her. Talk to you? It's my money, Mom. I decide how to spend it. The silence was brutal. Dad stared at his plate. Noah shook his head like I'd betrayed them. Ava smirked like she'd won something. I'd love to see this place, Ava said, breaking the tension. Sure, I replied, already regretting it. I'll send you the address. Come by next weekend. I drove up Friday evening, spent a quiet night unpacking, and set up my workspace. Saturday morning, I was sipping coffee on the deck when I heard Dad's old van crunching down the gravel drive. Mom, Dad, Noah, and Ava spilled out, gawking at the retreat. It sits 50 feet from the river, with a tidy lawn and tall maple trees shielding it from neighbors. I gave them the tour. They seemed genuinely impressed, which felt good after their earlier jabs. Noah loved the open living room with its brick fireplace. Mom kept saying how tranquil it was. Ava claimed the guest bedroom and asked to stay overnight. Sunday morning, watching them lounging in my living room like they owned it, I said, "You guys could use the place when I'm not here. Just let me know so we don't overlap." Before they left, I gave Mom a spare key. It felt right family sharing what I'd worked for. For 6 months, things were fine. They'd text to ask about using the retreat, I'd agree, and they'd head up. I'd find minor messes, extra dishes, use towels, but nothing major. Then one Friday, after a grueling coding project, I decided to treat myself to a solo weekend at the retreat. I needed to recharge. I packed a bag and drove up without telling anyone. The moment I stepped inside, I knew something was wrong. The air stank of beer and smoke. Pizza boxes were piled on my kitchen counter, empty cans scattered everywhere, and something sticky coated my hardwood floors. My cream-colored sofa had mysterious stains. The guest room looked like a tornado hit its sheets tangled, blankets on the floor. The bathroom was a disaster, towels strewn about, toothpaste smeared on the mirror, hair clogging the drain. I was livid. I took photos of the mess with my phone. This wasn't just untidy, it was vandalism. Someone had thrown a party and treated my retreat like a frat house. I spent the entire weekend cleaning, scrubbing floors, washing every fabric, trying to save my furniture. By Sunday night, my body ached and my hands were raw, but the place was restored. Monday after work, I drove to my parents' house. Noah and Ava were there for dinner, perfect for confronting them all. We need to talk about the retreat, I said, showing them the photos. Ava glanced at them and shrugged. Oh, that. Yeah, I had some friends over last weekend. Some friends? I said. Ava, look at this food in the carpet, beer spills, cigarette burns on my deck chairs. It's your house, she said, waving a hand. So you clean it up. I stared at her. You made the mess? Noah nodded like she'd made a valid point. She's right, Olivia. You're the homeowner. You can afford a cleaning service anyway, Mom added. You're always bragging about your job. Dad leaned back. You're making a big deal out of nothing. This is just normal wear and tear. Normal? I held up a photo of ketchup smeared on my living room wall. This is normal? You're being dramatic, Ava said. Family doesn't keep score over cleaning. Something broke inside me. I want the key back, I said, holding out my hand to Mom. Olivia, don't be rash, she started. The key. Now none of you are allowed back until you learn some respect. Mom's face hardened. She pulled the key from her purse and slapped it into my hand. I headed for the door. Dad called after me. You're turning against your family over nothing. I left without a word. 3 months passed without a call from them. No apologies, no requests for money, no check-ins. I kept paying their rent and utilities, though, because that's what I'd always done. I rarely visited the retreat. Work was intense and the place felt tainted. But after wrapping a massive project, I took a week off to reclaim my riverside haven. Friday evening, I packed groceries and clothes, eager for 7 days of reading on the deck and light work. But when I pulled into the driveway, every light in the house was blazing. Music blared so loud I heard it over my car engine. I thought it was a break-in, but burglars don't throw dance parties. I tried unlocking the front door, but my key wouldn't turn. Someone had left theirs in the lock from the inside. I knocked hard. Mom opened the door, looking surprised but not guilty. Olivia, what are you doing here? This is my house, Mom. What are you doing here? She shrugged. I made a copy of the key before giving it back. we're having a family party tonight. I peered past her. The living room was packed: Dad, Noah with a stranger, Ava with her boyfriend, and half our extended family. Aunts, uncles, cousins I barely knew. They waved cheerily and resumed chatting. You copied my key without telling me? I asked. Don't ruin the fun, Mom said, still blocking the doorway. We'll be gone by Sunday. I want to come in. I have bags in my car. Ava appeared, smirking. Sorry, no room for you. Both bedrooms are taken and the couches are full. Sleep in your car if you need to. Before I could respond, they shut the door in my face. I sat in my car for 10 minutes, debating. Part of me wanted to call the police. They had no right to be there. I'd revoked access, and they'd made an illegal key copy. But picturing my family in handcuffs made my stomach churn. So I drove back to my apartment, unpacked, and sat at my computer. I logged into my bank and canceled everything: Noah's rent, Ava's rent, Mom's utility payments. It felt liberating. For 3 years, I'd sent them over $2,300 monthly, only to get snide remarks, and now this locked out of my own house. Saturday and Sunday dragged. I distracted myself with movies and cleaning, avoiding the retreat. Sunday night, I checked Ava's social media. She'd posted photos from our family getaway at the Riverside retreat, not Olivia's retreat. Pictures showed people drinking on my deck, someone diving off my dock, a group in my living room with beers. The caption, Best Family Weekend Ever, back to reality tomorrow. Monday morning, I returned to the retreat. They were gone, but the mess was worse than before: cans everywhere, food smeared on the deck, cigarette butts in the river. Inside was a nightmare. I spent all day cleaning. Tuesday, I called a locksmith. I need all locks changed today, I said. He replaced every lock: front door, back door, deadbolt. Then I called a security company. I want a full alarm system: motion detectors, door sensors, perimeter cameras. They installed it Wednesday. Cameras at every corner, sensors in the yard, door alarms, and a control panel linked to my phone. I spent the rest of the week at the retreat, savoring the quiet. The new system gave me peace of mind. No one called that week. They either hadn't noticed the canceled payments or had savings. Their silence spoke volumes. They only reached out when they needed something. The next Friday, back at my apartment, my phone pinged with a security alert. The camera feed showed Dad and Noah circling the retreat, peering in windows. Mom and Ava stood by the front door. Noah tried his key, then jiggled it when it failed. Dad tried his. My phone rang: Mom, then Ava, then Noah. I ignored them. On camera, they moved to the back deck. Noah picked up a patio chair, clearly about to smash the sliding door. I called 911. Someone's breaking into my house, I told the dispatcher. I'm watching on my cameras. One's about to break my door with a chair. Are you there? No, I'm in the city, but they're definitely breaking in. Officers were dispatched. I watched Noah smash the door and enter with Dad. They let Mom and Ava in. Ava rummaged through my kitchen. Mom went upstairs. Dad fiddled with the alarm panel. Then police cars arrived, lights flashing. Officers approached with hands on their guns. Within 10 minutes, all four were handcuffed in police cars. The police called. We've detained 4 people who broke into your property. They claim to be your family. Can you confirm? I verified their identities. Did you give them permission? Number Ween told them they weren't allowed, changed the locks, and installed security after they made unauthorized key copies. Come to the station to file a complaint. I'm not feeling well, I lied. I'll come tomorrow. I hung up, poured wine, and slept with a smile. Saturday, I took my time-made breakfast, read news, and enjoyed knowing my family was in jail while I relaxed. At 10 a.m., I turned on my phone. 37 missed calls, frantic texts from unknown relatives. I deleted them and drove to the station. Detective Lopez met me. Your family wants to speak with you. They're upset after a night in custody. I'm sure they are. Do you want to press charges for breaking and entering? It's a felony. I considered it, but couldn't go that far. No charges, I said. Lopez shrugged. Your call. It'll take a few hours to release them. They want to talk now. Bring them in. They looked rough, tired, scared, disheveled. Mom's hair was a mess, Ava's makeup streaked, Dad furious, Noah confused. Olivia, thank God, Mom said, reaching for me. This is a misunderstanding. I stepped back. You broke into my house. We're family, Ava sobbed. You can't abandon us. Watch me. Noah spoke up. Just pay our bail, Olivia. We'll fix this at home. I'm not paying anything. Figure it out. Dad slammed the table. You're leaving your parents in jail? You broke into your daughter's house and act like victims? We just wanted to use it for the weekend, Mom said. You weren't there? Because I changed the locks after you copied my keys, trashed my place, and told me to sleep in my car. Ava glared. It's just a house. My house bought with my money I shared while you complained it wasn't enough. I paused. And I stopped paying your bills. Noah, your rent bounced. Ava, yours too. Mom, no more utility money. Want my help? Treat me better. They went silent. Mom paled. Ava whispered, You can't. I did. Good luck. I walked out. Over the next weeks, relatives I barely knew called, including my cousin Mia, who said Mom and Dad promised her my retreat for her birthday party. You should have asked me, I told her. They said it was fine. They don't own it, Mia? She hung up. Friends relayed gossip. Noah and Ava moved back with Mom and Dad, unable to pay rent. Mom and Dad struggled with bills. Dad took extra shifts. Mom considered part-time work. Everyone called me selfish, saying I'd let money change me. I blocked them all. For the first time, I kept my entire paycheck, and it felt incredible. A month later, I was back at the retreat, enjoying the calm. The security system ensured no interruptions. I spent the weekend coding and reading on the deck. My family still thinks I'm the villain, expecting me to forgive them and resume payments. But I don't care. I was their bank for years, enduring their criticism and disrespect. They showed their true colors when they locked me out and told me to sleep in my car. I'm done until they learn to treat me like a person, not an ATM.